Right, today we have two contradicting reports on the iPhone SE 3 because we have Nikkei Asia saying that we should see the A15, but then we have DigiTimes saying that we should see the A14, and so let's delve into both reports and ultimately come to a conclusion regarding the SoC on the iPhone SE 3. And so without further ado, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors, and with that being said, let's just tuck in. Right, so beginning with the report from DigiTimes, I will be honest guys, this does not make a ton of sense to me, and so let me delve into why I disagree with this and why I think this might not be true. Now yes, I know many of you guys might be thinking, why is the A14 in the iPhone SE 3 such a massive issue? Because obviously, the A14 is gonna be more than fine for a phone that's launching next year. The A14 is still a very powerful chip and should be for the next few years, right? Well, yeah, that is very true. The A14 is still fantastic, but I'm looking at this from a value standpoint. You see, in my opinion, the iPhone SE 3 was already gonna be a pretty hard sell because you have the iPhone SE 2, which should be available through third-party retailers for a cheaper price, and then you have older iPhones like the iPhone XR, the 11, the 12 mini, all these phones trying to compete with the iPhone SE 3 roughly at the same price. But of course, I was assuming the main advantage with the iPhone SE 3 would be the fact it had the A15, and so that meant it got 2 or 3 more years of support compared to those older iPhones. But of course, with the A14, that won't be the case. It will probably get 1 more year of support over the SE2, but do remember right now, the iPhone 12 mini is $579, and I'm sure you could find it for £400 next year, and of course, that has the same A14 but with a new design, Face ID, dual cameras, and so much more. So yes, it is the better buy over the iPhone SE 3. Heck, even if you want 5G for some reason, the iPhone 12 mini has that. And so yes, why would anyone buy an A14 powered iPhone SE 3? Also, do remember that if you don't care about 5G, which applies to pretty much everyone, the iPhone 11 is also a great deal. That can be found for around £300 right now, refurbished. I'm sure it's going to keep on dropping, so again, that is a much better deal than the iPhone SE 3. Another reason why this does not make sense to me is the fact there is a logistical reason behind the SE usually getting the latest A-series processor, and that's because Apple's already going to be mass producing these A15 chips, and so because they're already making them in large quantities, they can also share it with the SE line, and that proves to be cheaper for them. But of course, in 2022, the iPhone 12 and potentially the iPad mini 6 would be the only products with the A14, and of course, the iPhone 12 won't be that popular next year because it's no longer the newest model, and the iPad mini 6, well, that's not going to be a massive seller too, so I don't think it makes a ton of sense for Apple to use a chip in low volume products compared to the A15, which we know Apple's going to have tons and tons of because it's going to be in the new iPhones. And by the way, Apple is increasing production of these iPhones by 20% this year. So yes, they're definitely going to have a ton of A15 chips. And so again, wouldn't it be easier for the iPhone SE 3 to get the A15 and share it with the iPhone 13 series? There could really only be one reasoning behind Apple putting the A14 in the iPhone SE 3, and that is maybe the chip shortage is to blame. Maybe Apple can't give the iPhone SE 3 the A15 because maybe they only have an allocated number of the A15, and well, they're giving it to the iPhone 13s first, and so because they don't have enough A15s to share it with the iPhone SE lineup, they're giving it the next best processor, which is the A14. Now this could be likely, but I do want to say that Apple's done a pretty good job at reserving stock of chips, and so I don't think Apple's having any issues with the chip shortage as such, and so I don't think that's going to be a reason behind the iPhone SE 3 getting the A14. And it also has nothing to do with profit, because the A14 and the A15 are very similar in price, since obviously these are in-house chips. And of course, Apple and their chip maker TSMC are great buddies. And so yes, I'm sure the A14 and the A15 are very similar in price to make. And so yes, again, I doubt Apple's giving us the A14 in the iPhone SE3 to make it slightly cheaper, because it would not really make a huge substantial difference. And so yeah, that's basically my reasoning behind why I disagree with the A14 coming to the iPhone SE3. So let's now delve into the report from Nikkei Asia that says we're gonna see the A15 in the next generation iPhone SE. Now this makes a lot more sense because the SE has always got the latest A series processor when it launches, and so since we're seeing this in early 2022, the A15 should be the latest SoC. So yes, A15 in the iPhone SE3 makes a lot more sense. But another reason why I think the iPhone SE3 would benefit from the A15 is purely for the efficiency improvements, because we know the iPhone SE2's battery life absolutely sucks, and so imagine that with the addition of 5G, that's gonna be pretty bad. So yes, I'm hoping the efficiency improvements we could see with the A15, and of course the new X60 modems that should debut with the new iPhones, could improve battery life ever so slightly, though do note, it probably won't make a huge difference, but every little helps. So yes, I do think the more efficient A15 in the iPhone SE3 would be the right move. But unfortunately, that's the only difference between these reports. They both say that Apple's going to keep the same old archaic 4.7-inch design, so yes, even if you get the performance of the A15, you're not going to be able to utilize it on the 4.7-inch display, because it's just going to be a pretty terrible experience when it comes to gaming or anything intensive for that matter. And yeah, on the whole, I'm still disappointed. The only major upgrades with the iPhone SE3 are gonna be a new chip and 5G. Those aren't really improvements people are asking for, so yes, I'm hoping in the near future we do see a new design, something a little more modern. In fact, I think the 12 mini could be a perfect base for a new SE, and so maybe when Apple does discontinue the mini size from the flagship range, we do see it come over to the SE line, and yeah, I would be pretty hyped about that. So yeah, those are the new details on the iPhone SE3, but let me know in the comments below, are you interested? Are you going to buy this phone? Do you really care about this iPhone SE3, especially since the design is not changing at all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumors. Check out the video in the icon above on details regarding the iPad Pro M2. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps.